Hi guys, welcome to today's video. I know I sound a little funny. I am sick. I'm getting over it mostly, but I do still sound a little funny, so please ignore that. This video is long overdue. It is the 20th of July, so we are past the halfway mark of this year, but I still wanted to film this video. We are gonna do my mid-year freak out tag or mid-year wrap up of the books I've read so far this year. I have a few questions I'm gonna answer. I'm still undecided if I'm gonna do a video where I wrap up every book I've read so far this year. If that's what you want to see, please let me know because I still haven't made my mind up. Yeah, let's just ignore the fact that I'm filming this quite late. All of the questions and stuff I answered based on halfway through the year, July 2nd, not the end of July. I also haven't filmed in a little bit, in a few weeks, so I feel a little, I don't know the right word to use. I feel a little weird talking to the camera again, but I'll get back into it. Anyways, I will put all the questions in the description. I've been using the same questions for the past few years, so I don't know where I originally got them from, but I think most people use the same questions. So the first question, best book you've read in 2025. So this is very, very easy to answer because I only have one 5-star read this year, which is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I love this book so much. I did read this book in a reading vlog. The reading vlog is not out yet. I filmed that reading vlog over a few months and I got 5 hours of footage. So it's been taking me a really, really, really long time to edit. But it will be out hopefully soon. I'm trying to get through it. But yeah, I did read this in a reading vlog and I actually wrote a review today that I'm going to post on my Instagram. So if you want to see my review, you can check that out. But I love this book so much. I don't know where to start. It is just the perfect mix of everything I love. I loved our character Emily. I love how she struggles with social interactions and she doesn't understand people very well. I love characters like that. I always feel like I relate to them. Those always tend to be my favorite characters. No surprise there that I loved her. I loved that this book was written in the form of diary entries as Emily was discovering these new fairies in this castaway small town. I loved the fantasy elements in the book as well, which I didn't expect there to be a lot of fantasy because I knew there'd be some because there's obviously fae in this book, but I didn't expect there to be the extent of fantasy that there was, but I still really enjoyed it. This book also had quite mundane parts where not a lot was going on, where Emily was exploring the land, encountering new things, and I also really, really enjoyed that. The romance with Wendell, I loved the way it was incorporated into the story. It wasn't the sole focus of the story, but we got enough crumbs and pieces for it to feed my soul, to feed my romance hungry soul. I loved it. I loved how it was a little different from typical romances. I loved his character. I loved the found family aspect as well, as Emily is more welcomed in this town and the people living there look out for her and stuff, and she builds relationships. She also builds relationships with some of the fae, which I loved. So many amazing things in this book, so many things I loved. This was better than I expected. I don't know. I just have so many amazing things to say about this book. So definitely the best book I've read so far this year and definitely deserving of a 5-star. The next question is, how many books have you read so far this year? I had read 38 books. My goal for the year is 100 books. I am behind, obviously. Will I catch up? I don't know. We shall see. I would like to reach 100. If I don't, that's okay. I'm not that worried about meeting my goal. I just think it's fun to set a goal and see how much I can read. I would like to read more than I read last year. I think I read 71 books last year. I would like to read more than that. The next question is, new releases you haven't read yet but want to. Firstly, I really want to read Gloves Off by Stephanie Archer, I think it is. Is it Stephanie Archer? Yes. She has the Vancouver Storms series. Gloves Off, I think, is the 4th book in the series. The first book is Behind the Net, which is very popular. I did not like that book at all. I think I rated it a 2.5 stars, something like that. But I read the second book. I kind of skimmed it because I was in a slump and I enjoyed it. So then I read the 3rd book, which is The Wingman, I think. Loved that book. I think about that book all the time. I can't remember what I rated it. Something in the 4-star range. I feel like I should have rated it higher because I really, really, really liked it for some reason. And I'm always thinking about it. We got glimpses of Georgia and Volkov, I think it is, who's in the book Gloves Off, which is the next book in the series. This book came out either this month or last month, and I've been really, really looking forward to it. I did start it the other day. I got a few pages in, but I was reading a few other books here and there, so I'm I want to sit down and read that book. I'm so excited. There's so much tension there. It's enemies to lovers. I think there's a marriage of convenience. after really liking The Wingman, I have faith in Stephanie Archer. I'm really hoping this book is as good as I'm expecting it to be. Another book that released this year that I haven't read yet but I really want to read is A Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. There is conflict at the moment with Ali Hazelwood because she deleted her Instagram because she was getting bullied. And I don't know how to feel because I love Ali Hazelwood, as we all know, and now I don't have her Instagram, so like I don't know. That's where I get all my information about her new books coming out, and now it's just gone. It actually made me feel really sad when I found out her account was gone. Anywho, I love Ali Hazelwood, as we all know. I haven't read a book by, oh, I did read one of her novellas recently. Before that, I hadn't read a book by her in a while, so I have been missing her. She came out with Deep End this year, but I don't think I'm gonna like that book because it's more of a friends with benefits kind of book, which I don't tend to enjoy as much. So I do want to read it eventually, but just not at the moment. I don't feel like reading it. But this book I'm really excited for. So this book follows Not in Love, which I think is the last book I read by her before the novella last year. And I didn't love this book. It also was like the friends with benefits kind of vibe, too much spice, not enough romance. It didn't have what I love about her books, but we got glimpses of Eli's little sister who has a crush on Eli's friend who is quite a bit older than his sister. Also, quickly, can we talk about the fact that this spine is like completely faded? I don't know what happened because it's with all my other Ali Hazelwood books and none of the other spines are faded, but this one is really faded and it looks so ugly and I don't know why that happened. Actually really annoyed by it, but anyways, moving on. So this book follows Eli's sister. I wasn't sure if we were going to get a book following his sister with the possible romance because we got little hints, but Ali never said anything. And then this book just showed up on Goodreads and I never saw her saying anything or anyone saying anything. I was like, what's going on here? There wasn't a lot of like talk about it before it came out, but it came out recently. I've been really excited for it. I've heard amazing things. It is following Maya and Connor. Maya is 23, Connor is 38. There's like a big age gap. I don't care. I know it's gonna be good. It's set like on vacation. Oh, I need a new battery. Sorry, I had to change my camera battery. But as I was saying, it's set on holiday. Honestly, not my favorite setting, but I'm excited nonetheless. So I can't wait to read this book. And then the last book that released this year that I'm excited to read is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I haven't read anything by that author. She is very popular, but a lot of her series don't really interest me. I do have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Have not read it yet. I will at some point. I know she has like the Vicious series. Doesn't really intrigue me. This book came out. I didn't know much about it. I saw there was a lot of hype, but I've since heard so many good things. I've heard it's a vampire sapphic romance. I think it's set in like the 1800s maybe, like dark academia, gothic vibes. From what I've heard, it reminds me of An Education in Malice by S.T. Gibson, which is one of my favorite books. So if that's the case, if it is like that book, I could really love it. So I do really want to give that book a go. Like I said, I've just heard really good things, which I've heard good things about all of her books. This one in particular, a lot of like the book YouTubers and stuff I follow have been raving about it and saying like this is their favorite book of the year. So I really want to get my hands on that book. And then the next question, my most anticipated releases for the second half of the year. Firstly, Mate by Ali Hazelwood, which is the second book after Bride. This is a werewolf vampire romance. I also didn't love this book. I had a few things I didn't like with this book, but we got hints of a second book coming towards the end of the book. That really excited me. And when I found out the second book Mate was coming out, I was really excited. So that book comes out, I think, actually I have no idea, so I'm not even going to try and guess. It follows Misery's sister. They're like foster sisters, and her sister is human, and I think she gets mated to a werewolf, and the werewolf in question is Lo's friend. I'm intrigued. And there was a lot of like politics in this book, so I think there's going to be a lot more going on in the second book. But after not loving this book, I don't have high expectations for the next one. I'm just excited. I feel like it'll be fun to read. Another anticipated release for the second half of the year is Brigands. Am I saying that right? I don't know. And Bread Knives by Travis Baldry. This is a part of the Legends and Lattes series. I read Legends and Lattes this year, which I will talk more about with the next question that comes up. But I really enjoyed it, and there's actually quite a few books in this series. I've only read Legends and Lattes and Pages to Fill, which is the novella that's set before Legends and Lattes, and there's quite a few books on either side. There's like another prequel and then more sequels to read. So when this book does release, I definitely won't read it right away because I have other books to read by this author, but I'm excited. I mean, I would like to read it soon when it comes out, but will that happen? Probably not, because I have too many books in the series to read, but I'm excited to read them. And the last anticipated release I have is The Rule Breaker by Stephanie Alves. Stephanie Alves is more of an indie author. She is popular. Actually, I don't think she's published with a publisher. I think she self-publishes. She has this Campus Games series that I really liked. It got me out of a slump. I read all of them. She recently came out with another book, Strictly Business. I like skim read that book. I didn't love it as much. There was more of a focus on like the spice and stuff. I really liked her Campus series. They were set at college, which also isn't my favorite, but I really enjoyed the stories. I feel like they were just very sweet and easy reads while being in a slump. And The Rule Breaker, I think, is set at another college. Our main character is a hockey player, maybe. I don't remember what sport he plays. And then the female main character is the coach's daughter. I do think there's like a friends with benefits thing that happens. But the way she's done that in other books, I did enjoy. So I am excited to see how I feel about this book. It releases the last day of July, I think. So excited to read that book. The next question is biggest surprise. So my biggest surprise was Legends and Lattes. That book is so popular. I was kind of content on not reading it for some reason. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it. It's a cozy fantasy. I was like, it sounds kind of boring. I don't know if I'll ever read it, but I ended up picking it up anyways. And I read it and I really enjoyed it. I've read it while also listening to the audiobook, which I've really enjoyed as well. The audiobook is narrated by Travis Baldry, and I feel like it just, the way he narrates the characters, I feel like he did really well, and it adds to the whole vibe of the book. I feel like I read it a lot quicker because of the audiobook. It was overall just a really heartwarming, cozy story. I loved the romance. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I want to read other books in the series, and I just wasn't expecting to like it so much. So that's definitely the biggest surprise this year. A new favorite author to me this year is Heather Fawcett, the author of Emily Wilde. I have read only one book by her. I don't know if she actually has any other series, but she has to be a new favorite author if I love this book so much. And I do plan on reading more books by her. A book that made me cry, I forgot to get it, but that is Anatomy. I rated that book a 4.75, so close to a 5 stars. Really enjoyed that book. The ending broke my heart. I don't cry a lot when I read books. This book definitely did make me cry a little. Oh, there's like a specific like quote at the end. It's so sad, but anyways, but like also like so heartwarming and like heartbreaking and everything. Anyways, really enjoyed that book, and the ending really got me. I did shed some tears. A book that made me happy, obviously Emily Wilde really made me happy. I was giggling so much reading this book. It made me feel so good reading a 5-star and just enjoying a book so much. Another book that made me happy was Fated to Fall by A.K. Kajino. She is like one of my favorite authors. This is a short story with fantasy, romance. It's set in like the fall time. It was a really sweet book. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and it definitely made me happy, as do all of her books do. And lastly, Lore Olympus, the series I've started this year. I'm up to the 7th book, and I've enjoyed this series so much. There's been so much giggling with the romance and everything, and the side characters and like the comedy. Really enjoyed it so far. There are some darker themes in the books that don't make me as happy, but there are some really good scenes, and that's definitely a series I've been loving this year and definitely made me happy. The most beautiful book I've bought this year or received. Sorry if you can hear my cat, she's just grooming herself. The Emily Wilde series have like the most beautiful covers I've ever seen. I love this art style so much. They're so beautiful. I don't have the 3rd book yet. I think the 3rd one's pink. So pretty. And also the Villains and Virtues series. I read this series last year, but I've accumulated almost all the books in the series this year, and I love the covers so much. They're actually being published, so all the covers are changing. I really like these covers. I do like the new one, so I'll probably end up buying it anyways, but these covers, I just love how unique they look. The art style, I love them so much. So I think they really suit the series, and I love seeing them on my shelves. I do need to get the 5th book in the series. Usually I read her books on Kindle. I get a lot of her arcs as well for their release, so I read those in Kindle, but I do need to buy the new books. Only the 1st book in the series has been released, with the new cover, so I'm excited to see the other books. And the next question, what books you need to read by the end of the year? Basically, every book on my 2025 TBR. I've read only two. I've only read 2 books on that TBR so far, so every single book on that TBR I do need to read. Maybe some of the ones I really want to get to. Butcher and Blackbird, Interesting Facts About Space, A Dowry of Blood, Assistant to the Villain, Hunt on Dark Waters. I need to prioritize this list more. I just never look at it. The next question is how many 5-star reads? You guys already know that. 1. I am planning on doing a video where I try to get 5-star reads, so hopefully that changes. What books do you want to reread this year? The Villains of Virtue series, I really want to reread and annotate all of them now that I have the physical copies. I think I'll get to that later in the year, but I am really, really excited to do a reread of this series that I love so much. A book you enjoyed with mixed reviews. So I have 2 books, a part of this series. I can't remember what the series was called, but Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood and Merry Ever After by Tessa Bailey was a part of this like Christmas novella series. I really, really, really enjoyed both of those books. They're really short, like 50 pages, but I both rated them like 4 stars. And I really enjoyed them. And then I looked at the reviews on Goodreads and all of them were like, this is so bad. Like, I wish I never read this book. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? I'm like, is something wrong with me because I liked it so much? But anyways, I thought they were just really fun and sweet. And anyhow, I really enjoyed them. I'm glad I read them because I did hear some negative things, but I'm like, I'm just going to give it a go. And then I really enjoyed them. But I do really like both of those authors and they are quite controversial because not a lot of people, controversial is probably the wrong word to use, but some people love their books, some people don't. The last question is 5-star predictions for the rest of the year. So I have quite a few books that I think are going to be 5 stars, that I hope are going to be 5 stars, that I'm going to read soon so I can get more 5 stars because I just love that feeling of having a 5-star book. Firstly, Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands, which is the second book in the series. I'm so excited to dive back into this world. I think I'm going to love it just as much as the first book. I'm so excited. I have no clue what's really going to happen in this book, but I'm just really excited to read it. So this is the first one. And then Play Along by Liz Tomford. I've spoke about so much, but it is the 4th book in the Windy City series. I just think I'm gonna love this book. I already love the characters we were introduced to them in Caught Up. So many people say so many amazing things. I really want to read it. I just haven't yet, and I think it's gonna be a 5 stars. Immortality by Sana Schmartz. This is the second book after Anatomy. Like I said, I loved Anatomy. I think I'm going to love this book as well. I need to see where the story ends. I'm very intrigued. I hope it's 5 stars. Yeah, very excited for this book. Kingdom of the Feared by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the 3rd and final book in the Kingdom of the Wicked series, which I've really enjoyed so far. So excited to see where this ends. This is like really, really highly anticipated for me, and I'm also kind of nervous to see where everything goes. I'm very excited. And lastly, Once Upon a Broken Heart, which this has been on 5-star prediction lists over like the past 2 years. And I started this book. I have annotated quite a bit of it, but I ended up being in a slump from like other things going on. It wasn't because of this book, so I thought I'd put this down and get back to it at another point. I have not gone back to it yet, but I plan to hopefully soon. I think this is going to be a 5 stars, or the series will be a 5 stars, so I really need to get back. Those are all of my 5-star predictions. I so badly want more 5-star books. It's not even that I'm like picky, it's just a feeling, you know, like I can't give something a 5-star rating if it doesn't feel like a 5-star. So I just need to read better books, I guess. Anywho, I answered all of the questions I have in my mid-year freakout tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know as well your answers to some of these questions. What's your favorite book of the year? What's an anticipated release you have? If you've read any of the books I've mentioned, let me know. I love talking to you guys in the comments. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to see you in another one very soon. I have a book Instagram and I was gonna say I have a book TikTok, but my TikTok got banned for some reason. Anywho, I do have a Goodreads, so you can check those out if you'd like. I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you for watching. Bye!